because it wouldn't be a Sunday and it wouldn't be the NFL around the UK unless we went late. Hey,
Too right, yeah. We still turn up, but terribly late. Yeah,
terribly late, but it's worth it. Trust me, it'll be worth it. Hey. So, welcome to Sunday. How are you doing, Matty?
Yeah, mate. I am good, and I'm just having a quick chat off air. There's some interesting games today, and the whole slate is a touch interesting. But yeah, mate, I'm good. It's another NFL Sunday, my friend. So I'm living the dream. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Just had a really good chat with the boys on the NFC West show.
Yes,
that was good. So looking forward to an interesting showdown with the Seahawks against Bo's Seahawks. He's not feeling too comfortable, quite frankly. Which is nice. But you know, it's always nice for the Seahawks. Point of
view, that's probably quite nice.
Yeah, it's always quite pleasant. Jay is obviously flying high as a Cardinals fan. He's loving life right now. Sit up, feet up, top of the division. He's loving his Sunday. He's just he would rather the Cardinals not on a bye week. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I mean, a quick blast, as you say, Matty. We just talked prior to jumping on. That 6 o'clock slate for the UK fans is dire, barring one standout, obvious 6 o'clock Sky game, right? I mean, unless you're a diehard fan.
Yeah, quite. I mean, just taking a quick rundown. We got Dolphins Raiders. Dolphins still have a little bit of fight about them, but I don't think they're anything like they were last year. And probably the less said about the Raiders, the better. Saints Browns, I don't think I even really need to touch on that. Jets Colts, I don't think I really need to touch on that. Titans Vikings, I feel like that's just going to be the Vikings racking up another win.
Racking up a lot of points and a lot of yardage against a bad Tennessee team, yeah.
Bears Packers is going to be like potentially juicy, but I just don't hold out much hope for the Bears. I feel like that's going to be a touch one-sided, like it seems to have been quite a lot in
the last 10 years or something. Yeah.
Lions Jags, again, I don't want to be that guy, but I don't really see that going anywhere other than one
Is that Dan Peterson's last game in charge?
Or do you reckon if they just get absolutely
just blown out?
Yeah. I mean, potentially, but also, is anyone expecting much else to happen?
I mean,
the Pats doing the Pats.
That says it always. Patriot fan. He hopes the Patriots do the Patriots.
Go
the Rams. I think.
Yeah, Patriots Rams again. Yeah, DJ hardcore Patriots fan. But that's again, unless you're either like a hardcore following of those two teams, I don't see that having much juice. I mean, because I mean, this maybe is like a different conversation about the Rams, but I really thought, okay, the Rams have made it. They've stayed alive until they've got their star receivers back. And then the Dolphins game happened. And I remember just waking up to that news and thinking, like, I don't know. I feel like as soon as you feel like you know something about this league, something happens. And then you're just like, yep, not a clue.
I'm a complete novice in this. Got no idea. And, I think that game, the Rams game specifically, did a lot of analysts and talking heads and everybody were like, oh, who's back? Oh, the Rams are going to... It's like, oh, what? What? Just laid an absolute stinker. And unfortunately, fortunately, maybe for DJ, I got a feeling that the Patriots probably do the Rams today because it's in New England. The Rams are sputtering. Drake May's kind of giving a good feel to the Patriots. The defense is elite. Well, I wouldn't say elite's maybe a stretch, but the defense, putting up 9 sacks against the Bears, the defense no mug, and that Rams offense, if they don't, like they did against the Dolphins, if they don't turn up, that Patriots defense is better than the Dolphins defense. So it could be another, I'd say, shock on the cards. But is anything a shock in the NFL this season?
That's what I mean. I feel like this season is so weird. Like it's just everyone dropping the spaghetti. Like just taking it in turns to just throw their dinner in the air. Like, yes, something's just off this. Like, except the Chiefs. The Chiefs are fine.
Chiefs are right. No.
Other than them, I just feel like everyone is just taking their turns to, just throw their toys out the pram.
It's like we're ready. We're going to be the. No, we're not. Actually, sorry. Yeah, don't look at us now because we've just literally shat the bed.
I guess I kind of know what you mean, though. I feel like at least when I look at the Patriots, I know that they have something to fall back on. In that, like, maybe that offense isn't fantastic, but the defense is still putting in the work and doing something. Yeah. And I feel like when I look at the Rams, it's like if they turn up, yeah, that offense is amazing. Like we've seen them, flame teams with the ridiculous amount of talent they have. But
Mhm.
you have games like last week where not that 15 points is bad. Did I expect them to score more than that against this Dolphins team that's been a bit weird? Of course I did. Like that's really weird. So I suppose in that way, I've got a bit more faith in the Patriots, at least having something. But I don't know. I don't really have a lot of faith in either team, to be
Oh,
fair.
yeah, it's not faith that you'd be putting money on, though.
No, no, it is not.
You got faith that the Patriots know and have a system and are leaning into it, but whether or not it's what you would,
How confident you feel about it? Yeah.
Yeah. As a neutral, as you say, if you're not a Rams or a Patriots fan, it's not one that you'd go looking for a stream to watch, is it?
No, it is not. But moving on to the
I
other
suppose made it
game.
easier it did make it easier for Sky Sports to kind of choose the games of the week, because there really only are 2 games that you would even want to go anywhere near, and obviously the 6 o'clock game, which looks
what a
like
game that is, to be fair.
Oh, what an arm wrestle this is going to be! Ravens and the Steelers, NFC North, tasty. Steelers are in the mix for winning the division,
which feels mad considering how we all predicted them.
It felt weird saying it. I'm sure it came across as I was saying it. It's like, it feels weird to even say it, but they are there. They're doing it. It's
such a strange Steelers team. Like I feel like this team is just so weirdly balanced in a way that kind of nothing looks like it's a amazing kind of standout unit, and yet they obviously are. Like they're getting the job done, and to be this deep into the season, week 11, and for them still to be going toe to toe with a team like the Ravens, who, if anyone says at the start of the season you thought the Ravens would win the Super Bowl, you can't really argue too much against them, right?
Yeah.
So for the Steelers to be in this position, that's pretty crazy. Like Mike Tomlin doing Mike Tomlin things.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin getting a team to be just over 500, not a big surprise.
Yeah,
but they're not just over 500.
They're quite over 500.
They're quite a long way past 500 at the moment, and they're quite a long way, and they are definitely playoff contenders right now.
Big time.
It's a surprising turn of events, but as you say, the only game on the 6 o'clock slate worth tuning in for.
Yeah,
everything else is dross.
I mean, I feel like any matchup of North Division teams, whether it be AFC or NFC North, it's always going to be a good game. Like, they just strike me as the 2 divisions that just seem to have the most about them. And I feel like the teams in those divisions just hate each other a little bit more. Like, not that I'm saying that other rivalries don't matter. I'm fully aware there are some good rivalries, but I feel like any AFC North game, at least 10 people are getting hurt. Like there seems to be an edge to the North Division, doesn't there? Yeah.
Of both, as you say, of both conferences. The Packers and the Bears do not like each other. The Packers and the Lions. None of those teams like each other. Whereas even in, there's a begrudging admiration in the NFC West. You kind of like, none of the teams like each other, but they begrudgingly like, the Rams are a good team.
I feel like they don't like each other, but at least there's like a respect there. Whereas I feel like in a North Division game, there is no.
There's the dislike, the respect is not there at all.
Yeah, there is nothing.
And then the flip side, you look at the South divisions, and then I think there's just everyone realizes they're all rubbish, and therefore all rubbish together.
We're not good enough to hate each other. Yeah, we're just,
we don't have enough about us to hate each other.
I don't care. As when one of us starts being really good, then we'll start caring. But like,
maybe we'll dislike you because you rise above everybody else by the. It's not just the cream that rises to the top in the AFC South.
There's no point.
There's no point. Let's just all sit in the mire. So anyway, that's the 6 o'clock game wrapped up nice and smoothly with the 6 o'clock slate of dross. And then you look ahead to the 9 o'clock slate and you go, oh, God, it doesn't get much better, does it?
No.
It's not a great scheduling week this week.
No, it's weird how this happens, though, right? Because I feel like sometimes you look at the schedule and like every game is just an absolute banger. And then sometimes you have weeks like this.
I can't wait to watch that.
It's the same teams, and yet none of these games really appeal to me. Obviously, from a 49ers point of view, 49ers Seahawks is going to be a fairly interesting game.
Yeah.
the
But the Seahawks are
49ers.
bad. The Seahawks are bad though, and it's like
Yeah.
should just like just gonna roll that one. It's weirdly enough, it's almost like it's good that it's a 9:05 kickoff because by the time the big game at 9:25 that I'm sure we'll just touch on in a minute, by the time that kicks off, we can probably go right. This game's sorted out. We're already 20 points up. It's over.
Fingers crossed they've just cracked on and got it sorted.
Cracked on, scored 17, 20 points in the first quarter. Like, fine, we're going to go watch the primetime game.
I mean, hopefully so.
We
will see. Yeah, because I was going to say, like, the 49ers are back? Question mark.
CMC's back.
We looked okay, and I still feel like Brock Purdy is just balling out, by the way, this season. But I feel like that's more of a Thursday conversation for us to have. But it still just felt like same old 49ers this season. Definitely against the Bucs. They made it seem a lot harder than I feel like it had to be.
Yes.
And obviously
with all the special teams fun and games and
yes,
having each other around the throat type scenario, which is not a good look. Not great.
It's not as if it's not as if anyone before the season kicked off mentioned the 49ers special teams potentially being an issue. But we'll move on. That's
one of the big. I don't know if you picked up on it, but our punter is on season-ending IR.
Oh goodness gracious me! Oh,
so the best player that we had on special teams. I think he won the best punter award last year. There is an award apparently.
Wow,
okay. He had that. He has now been put on season-ending IR.
Oh god!
So,
dear.
For want of a better description, the weakest link of 49ers, which is the special teams. Now the best player on that special team unit
just gets that a little bit weaker.
just tweaks a little bit, just adds another little wrinkle. I mean, shouldn't matter against the Seahawks. Might matter in some later games as we move. Next week against the Packers, for example, might be over.
Yeah, that 49ers schedule remaining is pretty brutal.
Not looking good. Not looking as smooth. And if they can't put it together and start working, start firing, CMC's back, which I thought against the Bucs, everyone thought CMC's back, everything's fine, it's going to be fine, and it wasn't.
Yes.
And hopefully it was a bit of it wasn't just waiting for CMC to come back and everything would be fine. We have to actually work at it. Maybe the Seahawks is the best game to have because it's a get-right game and the Seahawks aren't in the best frame of mind. Their starting center just decided 2 days before to go, I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah, that's crazy, by the way.
I'm taking my helmet and my cleats and I'm going home type thing. It's almost like I'm taking my ball and going home, I've had enough. Bit of a weird one. So, maybe that disarray is ideal for the Niners to go in and kind of get right and blow up to, a few, get the defensive line, some sacks, get everybody feeling good.
I mean, I guess it's about as good as it's going to get, right? Especially with like the remaining slate that they have. Like this is kind of as best as they could hope for. Like I feel like
they have to make hay while the sun shines this afternoon.
Yeah,
definitely. They have to win this one because it will set them up for that tough run of games that's coming. If they don't, then it's like head scratching moment of like just what has happened this season.
Yes, quite. This almost feels a bit, dare I say, like season defining. Because if this doesn't go well, then you look at what's left and you're like,
ouch. That's not going to be easy. Oh, that's painful. Oh, that don't look good. Yeah, you start to worry about where the next win might be. Well, the Bears, I suppose. But
but I know what you mean. I feel like you need to look at this as like you need to build something going into what is left because this is looking pretty tough.
And then you've got what's the other one?
The other 905 Broncos Falcons. Woo, let's go.
Let's go. Let's Broncos country. Let's ride.
Let's ride.
I can't even because it's just I mean, Bo Nix is doing well. Bijan Robinson is always worth watching. I'm struggling now.
No, I mean, I'm sure there's no, I mean that's just Bo Nix versus Kirko Chains, isn't it? That's the big thing
Kirko
here.
Chains and that Atlanta offense that should really be an awful lot better than it is.
I know I went on this rant on Thursday about the Bengals, but Yeah, just speaking of teams I find frustrating, the Falcons have got to be up there, by the way. Because when you look at their offensive personnel, you look at that and you're like, God damn, that's a team.
I mean, I was in on the Falcons when they got Kirk O'Chains, and I thought, you look at Pitts, London, Bijan, Aljair, Mooney, all they really needed was Kirko there.
The QB, yeah.
They're flying, and it's like, they're not.
Like, don't get me wrong, they've had their moments, like when they got that.
Like the Saints.
Yeah. That's what I mean. They're so annoying. Like when they had that last-minute game-winning drive against the Eagles, and you're like, "That's big. That's a moment."
Here we go. This is it.
And then they just follow up with nothing. Like it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Again,
it must be worse. Could you imagine if you're a Falcons fan? Wow.
This doesn't matter to me. I don't care. But I find it annoying. I am so sorry. You guys have to follow this all the time. This must be so frustrating. Like, that's such a good offense, at least. I don't know a lot about the Falcons defense. I'm not going to lie, but that's such a good offense. How are we not like...
How are you not smashing that NFC South and, already planning for the playoffs?
Frustrating.
Much. But primetime classic game, the one game that any football fans tuning into, even if you're not a fan of these teams, you're gonna be like, put the other ones on Red Zone. This is the main screen. Bills Chiefs. I mean, the last time these guys played was possibly the best game of football for a long time. Massive ending. In fact, rule-changing ending of the last time these guys played because of the overtime kerfuffle and making sure that every team gets a go in overtime. This was the game that did it.
I remember watching that game, and I remember that was the game when it hit me that I was like, damn, this is potentially the greatest sport in the world. Like, that game was ridiculous. Like, I think on my Twitter the other day, it came up with like a 45-second highlight reel of literally just that last
45 seconds. Yeah.
When there was like 3 touchdowns scored and Josh Allen leaves Patrick Mahomes, what is it, like 12 seconds on the clock?
13 seconds.
And you're like, they're done. And then just, they're not done. I was like, what do you mean they're not done?
What do you mean the Chiefs still won that game? It's like,
so ridiculous. So yeah, I feel like there is no way, not even my jinx can outdo this. There is no way this game is a clanger. It's not possible.
Yeah, I don't think the NFL would let it happen in the
scripts way. Would not let it happen.
Yeah. The people in charge of the entertainment budget would be having words if this ends up being a stinker. But yeah, I can't wait for this. This is one of those, as I say, I'll be watching with one eye the 49ers Seahawks game, but yeah, that Bills Chiefs game has just got blockbuster written all over it.
Absolutely. Like you said, I think even the non-fans of these teams, you're going to be keeping an eye on that game. You are going to be, because
if you're fans of the NFL,
easily,
you don't want to be waking up tomorrow and going, and everyone's talking about this game, and everyone's like, "Did you see it?" And you're going, "Oh no, I was watching Broncos Falcons."
Yeah. Do you know, like,
in a nice, sorry, UK Falcons fans, sorry, Broncos country, UK, whatever you're called, but if you miss a play like, one of those things where everyone's like talks about forever and you're like, oh, I was watching something else. It's one of those you want to be watching this game, because who knows what Josh Allen might pull out of the bag or what magic, Patrick Mahomes is going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the games that they end up doing it, because the rivalry's there. This is, the Bills are better than we expected.
Big time.
So, this is, I mean, initially I thought this was going to be another, Casey just rolled the Bills, because the Bills looked like they were going to be, we talked about at the beginning of the season, they weren't going to be good because they didn't have anybody. They've got people because they realized they were in the mix, and they've got better and better. So this, the fact that there's stuff on the line, do the Bills get to break the Chiefs, unbeaten record and take away their perfect start? There's so much intrigue in this game. It's definitely box office.
Absolutely. I'm gonna try and find it, because I think I saw this stat on Twitter, or Might have been Instagram. But interestingly, obviously we've said a lot about how the Chiefs have had another one of those seasons where they're weirdly uninspiring, but are also just absolutely smashing it, which is kind of ridiculous. But I didn't realize that I don't have it to hand, but the Bills versus the Chiefs, or more importantly, Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes, in the regular season, Josh Allen is winning that battle like 4-1 or something. Like the Bills have a very good record against the Chiefs. In the postseason, it is 3-1 the other way, or it might even be 3-0. Like I don't know if the Bills have even beaten them in the postseason. So if it almost feels like if anyone is going to knock off the Chiefs from this ridiculous run, the history and the stats would have you say it could probably be the Bills. But again, like I said, as soon as you feel like you know something about this league, the NFL will give you the biggest middle finger you've ever seen in your life. So,
yeah,
you know, those stats are really cool. Try not to read into them too much is probably the advice, I think.
Yeah, it's one of those where the stats it's one of those games where the stats go out the window. And it's,
absolutely.
You know, using the,
the
UK analogy, this is a Merseyside derby or a North London derby-esque type thing, right? Where, this is the better team and whatever else. Goes out the window in these
does not
games.
Matter. Yeah,
does not matter. Your record does not matter in this game. Neither do these teams like each other. There's history. There's all that sort of stuff is there. The Chiefs are flying. The Bills want to knock them off their perch. It's going to be classic. It's going to be a blockbuster. Tune in for it.
The crazy thing is if the Bills do win this game, and I know that's a big if, they're only going to be one game back on the Chiefs, and will have the tiebreaker from having played each other, which.
Yeah.
Seems insane considering how deep we are into the season. The Chiefs are still undefeated. That, you know, there is a team that's still realistically close to them. That's crazy.
That's bizarre, isn't it? As you say, and the twist of the Bills winning this, getting the head-to-head, and only being a game back.
No.
Suddenly,
you just need them to slip up one more time, and like
and then suddenly the Bills are number one seed. You're like, what? That doesn't make any sense when they're 9-0. How is that possible? Crazy NFL for you.
Indeed.
Also, it's got you got to look at that Sunday night game as well.
Yes, yeah.
Because you're frustrating as hell, Bengals.
It's just my two teams that I get the most angry.
Two teams that just tug on your heartstrings. The Bengals playing the Chargers. This
is just the me angry game, yeah. I don't know. It's weird. I feel like you've got a Chargers team that don't really tend to score a lot, but they also don't let in a lot. And then you've got the Bengals that score a hell of a lot, but also let in a hell of a lot.
Yeah. Something's got to give.
It's going to be a weird game of football. There's no way back. This is going to be crazy.
It's either going to be 45 points each, because the Chargers, will get a defense that just lets people score. Yeah. Therefore, we'll find and remember how to score. Or the Chargers.
They kind of somehow shut the Bengals out, which feels impossible. But
it's impossible because that Bengals offense is just ridiculous.
But then I also just feel like if anyone was going to do it, it would be this Harbaugh run Chargers team. Like
they just basically get the ball and just stay on the field.
This
for
almost
45 minutes of the 60 minutes.
Of all the games this weekend, this easily feels like the stupidest. Like I just have no idea what's going to happen here. Like if you told me, the Bengals score like 45 points, but the Chargers just scored like 25 field goals, you'd be like, "Yep, fair enough."
Yeah, fine. Yep.
Okay, I have.
Sounds good. Sounds about right. The Chargers can't score TDs, but they've scored 12. Yeah, 12 field goals and managed to win.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, see it going fine. You can also see it going where the Chargers suddenly find their feet, suddenly score TDs because the Bengals defense just goes, "Would you like to go to the end zone?"
Yes.
End zone's over here because we can't stop anybody. Or Harbaugh just goes like, "Run it here." Gus Edwards just 60 carries, keep the Bengals offense off the field, march up and down really slowly, win the time of possession to like 40 minutes to 20 and win the game 14-10.
That's what I mean. This feels by far the least predictable game. Like even more unpredictable oh my god, I can't even talk. Even more predictable potentially than Bills Chiefs, which feels about as nice as
coin toss, flip, whatever game that Bills Chiefs game, you just go, who wins? Flip coin. Yeah. But this
and
one,
yet, I raised you Chargers Bengals. It could get
and then you
weird.
bring the Chargers Bengals and you just go, oh, for God's sake. Yeah, just that's one of those 12-sided die, and whatever comes out on Dungeons and Dragons, roll 16 to win. Okay. That's one of those games. That's what it is.
All I know is something's going to happen. I don't know what that thing is going to be, but something is going to happen.
Something crazy is going to happen. To be honest, I'm probably not staying up for that one, but it will definitely be worth watching the highlight reel first thing in the morning.
Yeah, it will either be you'll have gone to bed and been like, I'm gutted I missed that, or I'm so glad I didn't stay up for that.
I'm so glad I didn't stay up for that after the Chiefs-Bills game.
Exactly.
But also, just on that, my God, NFL, why have you not flexed out the Cowboys from primetime on Monday Night Football?
No, I love it. I want them to get just embarrassed in primetime. Come on, Texans.
But you look, Ravens Steelers, you had weeks to flex that into a Monday Night Football game where everybody could watch it. And you left the Cowboys, which are car crash on a dumpster fire, whatever you want to say. At least there won't be sunshine.
This is true. I saw actually, by the way, I saw an event was held at the Cowboy Stadium over the last few nights, and they actually decided to put the curtains up, which feels funny that they thought that was necessary. Anyway,
but not on a Sunday evening, not on a Sunday afternoon.
That's none of my business. But just FYI, the stadium does have curtains. For anyone that doesn't know, so
Jerry Jones, if you're watching, your stadium doesn't have curtains. Maybe you should put them up on
one of those end zones is looking a bit sunny, mate. Whap them curtains up, maybe.
Whack the curtains up.
But yeah, I mean, I get what you mean. Like, as much as I feel like the Cowboys just kind of end up getting primetime games because they're the Cowboys, and for no other particular reason. Like, especially this season. I mean, where even are they? What's going on in Cowboys? 3-6, blimey! Oh boy.
Yeah, and I get. You know, when this was first put together, and they looked at it, thought that'd be a great game.
Yeah.
Texas Cowboys.
Which, on paper, it absolutely should be. Like a battle for Texas, that's big, right?
Yeah, put it in there. But then you look at the records of both of those teams. And a couple of weeks ago, you should have looked at that and gone, Dak's just gone down. Because I think you've got a 2-week window to flex games in and out of certain sections.
Yeah.
Dak's gone down with a bad injury. The Cowboys are self-imploding. The Texans aren't great.
No, they've got the best record in the AFC South, but they've not been fantastic.
It's the AFC South.
Yes, exactly. They're the only team
previously mentioned. As previously mentioned, having the best record of the worst 4 teams in a conference. Is that really anything to shout about?
It's basically whose house is the least on fire? Welcome to the playoffs. Yeah. I mean, like I said, the Texans have a winning record, which feels good, but they have the only winning record in the South. So that's not fantastic. This feels like something could have been done here, but I guess also maybe looking at the rest of the show.
You look at the rest of the slate and you go, God, what else could you have done? What game could you have put there?
Other than
the Ravens Steelers.
Like
Ravens,
maybe
if you could. No, because they played those. They already had a Thursday night game with the 49ers when they went to Seattle, so they couldn't put both of those NFC divisional games into those evening slots.
Oh dear me. Okay. So what you mean is like just move the Cowboys Texans, part the whole Sunday thing, and then put Ravens Steelers on an island so that everyone. Okay. Yes, I'm with you now. That would
have been much, but it would have meant that the 6:00 game or the early kickoff games would have been dire for absolutely everybody.
But then at least you've got like red zone to spice up, right? Like you can I'll have a sprinkle of all the trash and just get the good bits, and then
and everyone can enjoy their Sunday afternoons and whatever else and get ready for the big Chiefs Bills game.
They should put you in charge of scheduling, Gary. I think you've cracked.
It's almost like it's common sense, but then this is the NFL.
This is the NFL. You think you know the league, and then something happens. I'm telling you,
something comes along and kicks you in the teeth. So
you never know the league.
Game of the week, I think, is pretty safe to say we all know which game of the week we're all watching.
Chargers Bengals, absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely going to be the Colts Jets.
Oh, mate, you know me. I love my New York Jets. Yeah, it's gonna be Bills Chiefs, like without a doubt. I'm so excited for this game, and I'm fully aware it's probably not going to be as crazy as, like you said, that game that went to overtime. The rules had to be changed because of how stupid this game was. I know it's probably not going to be that level of epic, but whatever comes out of that game, it is going to be good. It just always is. There is no world in which that comes out as a boring game. And I for the first time, I just feel confident saying that. I feel like even I can't jinx this game into being bad. There is no way.
Yeah. Wow.
And if I do, then I'm hanging up the hat.
Apologies, everybody.
I'm so sorry. I just ruined your year.
Just ruined the NFL for everybody.
I mean, do we have to pick a stinker of the week? That feels rough.
That feels hard. That feels difficult. Stinker of the week.
Do you know what? Actually, Saints Browns. I'm happy to call that.
Yeah, that was one I saw.
Stink. The Browns stink.
Yeah.
I'm not holding out a lot of hope for that. I'm not gonna lie. Like there are some whiffers this week, but I feel fairly okay with that one. I think that sums it up. I mean, I don't think either of those camps are in particularly good moods right now.
But it's a tough one when you pick stinker, and I was looking at it and it was like, yes, that one, but then that one you just go, you can't look past that from being just dire.
Like there's a lot of games this week that feel rock bottom, and then there's like, oh, rock bottom has a basement, and that's down there. Yeah, there it is.
Can't get much worse than. Oh, yes, it can. Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, these are bad. Oh, it gets worse. Yeah, okay. Saints, Browns fans, I'm sorry. I know Browns fans you have to put up with a lot. I know.
We do feel for the Browns fans.
I really do. But also, you stink.
Stinks. Your team stinks. And the Saints are in implosion mode. I think.
I feel like that needs to be a conversation at some point. Like,
on Thursday we have to talk about the Saints or the Aints or whatever.
Especially if they lose this game. If the Browns beat the Saints, what happened? Like through 2 weeks, this team was
just super
unreal.
Yeah.
And anyway, that's a Thursday thing. I feel like
that is definitely a Thursday. We need to find a Saints fan to come on, and
we absolutely do. I feel like that would be
session. There's a Saints therapy session on Thursday. Yeah. Right then, boys. There we go. Look at that. 33 minutes blast through week 11, just in time for Scott Hansen to say those magic words.
Yeah, we've done well. We've done well.
We've done well. Good man. Turn up late next time, Matty. It'll be fine.
I will do. It makes us more efficient, apparently. Yeah, Jesus.
That's how it works. That's all we need to do. Turn up late, be really efficient, smash.
Turn up late, have less time, therefore you just don't waffle as much. Yeah, bang, done. Look at that. Come on.
Smash, wallop. Enjoy your Sunday, folks. This has been NFL Around the UK on Sportsback UK. Until then, go Niners.
See you later.